Professional broadcaster Sam Roberts. We're here at Ringside Fest for Ringside Collectibles with the one and only Ricochet. Ricochet, what's the haps?
Not much. Just real tired right now.
Are you tired? You've had a busy couple days.
It's been a wild couple days.
Yeah.
Yes, but we're here now.
Right.
It's been awesome so far. We still got a lot of people out there waiting in line, but it's been so much fun so far. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you? I mean, from where you've come from, right? And you've been in front of stadiums full of people. Obviously, you just were. You've been in buildings where there's 10 people.
4 people.
Right, 4 people. Like when you're here, you're in Times Square, you're at Caroline's on Broadway, and I don't even know if you guys know, there's literally a line that wraps around the entire city block.
It's got to be. We've been here for 3 hours already, and they're still like piling in. So it had to be a long line.
Is it still mind-blowing for you?
It's crazy to me. It's crazy, especially when like it's like cold out there, so people are like waiting in the cold. Like that's just crazy to me. Like that they're just excited and happy to be here and to see us, and Becky's here and Seth's here and Sasha was here and Nikki was here. So it's just cool to see, like, I guess the impact that we can have on people like that. It's crazy.
So Ringside Collectibles puts this on every year, obviously, the one-stop shop for wrestling figures. Did you or do you have a figure collection?
I don't personally have a figure collection, but I've been starting to like collect I guess not just wrestling figures, but I got like a couple of Dragon Ball Z figures. I got some of My Hero Academia figures I just bought, and so I've got like my own. I got some Apollo figures, and then I got like my own figures stashed up. So I'm trying to start my own little like collection of like all my friends and things like that. So yeah,
that's how it starts too. You have a little bit of money now, and it's like we'll get a couple of these, a couple of those, and all of a sudden you've got like hundreds.
You got a whole room full. Yeah,
exactly. Do you think at all about how your attire? Because you've had some amazing gear, especially since showing up on the main roster. Do you think at all about how that's going to translate now to miniature versions of you?
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely goes into like picking out what I'm going to wear next time. But because I just kind of feel like I would wear what I feel like a cool action figure would be. If that makes sense. Yes. Yeah. So like the big jacket with the wings and stuff. I feel like things like that. The SummerSlam gear I wore. The gear I wore for Crown Jewel. Yeah. So yeah, I think like, man, what would be a cool figure for that? So
just be that human action figure.
Yeah, be a human action figure.
Do you have any cosplay plans in the future? It seems like every time you
I try to keep some stash in the back. Like I just did the My Hero, the All Might one for Crown Jewel. I've got a couple. I've already set my gear guys. Like, hey, I'm thinking this, and this. So we've got a couple in like Stern. Yeah. Got to keep it secret, though.
Well, of course, yeah. Because you walk out, and it's like that reaction is not just for you, but like, oh, and look, that's that.
Yeah. I walk out like I'm in a cool suit. Yeah.
It really is amazing. So what did it feel like for you? You come onto the main roster. You had a great but short run in NXT, right? You arrive onto the main roster, and obviously things go great. You become, United States champion. How did that feel for you?
Oh, man, it's literally like a dream come true. Even just to be put in that position, I feel like if they have that much, I don't want to say like respect, but that much, there's a word I'm looking for. Faith, I guess, yeah. Like even put me in that position so early too, I feel like it's awesome, and I just try to make the most of the opportunities they give me. I try to go out there and crush it every single time. But yeah, so being in like United States Championship picture was crazy to me, much less like actually winning it was so cool. And then just being in like King of the Ring was always something I never really thought was going to come back. So now that it was back and like I got to actually participate, and it was so cool. Things like this is great. Like what I'm hoping is the Rumble. I'm hoping because the Rumble's like been like other than like WrestleMania's, Rumble's always been like my favorite pay-per-view. So I want to be in that too. All these scenarios are just crazy.
So you get to dress up as your favorite superheroes, go wrestle in all your favorite matches. It's literally everything you just wanted to do as a kid.
It really is. It really is. And so like I always like me and like Lindsay Dorado and Ali and just a couple of guys. We always try to stop and be like, man, like this is crazy right now. We're in Madison Square Garden, or we're here, or whatever. Like, so we always try to stop and take a minute and really, show how much this is cool to us. Yeah. You know what I mean? Try not to take it for granted.
So growing up in Kentucky, right? Where did you start to become health conscious and develop a lifestyle that would allow you to have 0% body fat? Because my family's from Kentucky, Paducah, and the way my family was raised, it was like cooking
Oh,
with fats and
Oh, yeah.
and you know like everything
Mom-
is broiled.
Mom, she hooked it up for us all the time. But honestly, I think it was just like genetics, really. Like genetics had a lot to do with
It's gonna
it.
make a lot of people
But
upset.
once I started, this was probably 8 years into my career, I really started then focusing on my diet. And when I was staying in Japan for Dragon Gate for like months at a time, me and Apollo and Tozawa, we would just go to the gym every single day. We would watch what we eat every single day, and like we would just really start crushing it, our diets, like from then on. Then I started picking up things from other people and tips from other people and just kind of seeing what works for me, because everyone's obviously different, and what works for me not work for you, and what works for you might not work for the next guy. So that's when I really just kind of started picking up tricks and stuff from other people, like within the business and stuff. But yeah, it wasn't until like years after I really started wrestling that I really focused on like my diet and workout and exercise, really. Yeah.
Have you figured out yet, like, that magical... I feel like guys like Rey Mysterio have figured out this magical middle ground of coming up with moves that look spectacular but aren't as taxing on the body. Like, when you're a young man, you can literally do whatever.
Crazy,
it doesn't matter. But, like, in order to preserve longevity and still look spectacular, there has to be that balance. Are you at that point yet where you're figuring out, like, okay, this move looks amazing, it doesn't hurt me that much, so I'm going to do that move all the time?
100%. And not only me, but like my opponent as well. Like, cause if I'm coming off the top of the 630 every night, like, especially nowadays, because I used to try to not crush them. I would try to like hit and bounce off of them. And nowadays, I just hit my back so many times, and my lower back is starting to kill me every time I try to like protect the other person. So nowadays, I'm just crushing guys with the 630. I'm just like, I'm sorry, but like, you're beating me up the entire match. You can take this one. You can take us. But so it's not only for me, but for them too. And so like I've been trying to, and this is before I even got here too. I try to think of things, and that's why I tried to add little rolls and flips and stuff in the ring. So I don't always have to like do a dive or come off the top rope or do something. So I try to add something to keep the match exciting and to keep the match like electric and cool, but still it's not so taxing on my back.
There was that moment in NXT with Velveteen Dream, I'm sure you know, where you jump over the top rope, flip in the air, land on your feet in the aisle, that I think people will play forever, still play to this day.
Yeah.
Did you know when you were doing it, this is going to be one of those things that if I do it right, if it's successful...
That wasn't my idea. That was Triple H's idea.
You're like, hey, Hunter, maybe you stick to what you know how to do it. Stop volunteering me to...
Because we were trying to figure out like the exclamation mark on like the promo, like how to finish it, and we couldn't really figure out how to like for like me to just like stick it to him, you know what I mean? So we're like, man, like we're trying to think all day. We were thinking for like hours, and then Triple H finally, he was just looking. He's like, it'd be cool if you could just like, he says, anything you can do, I can do better, and you just flip out of the ring right there, boom, in front of his face, and he's like, could you do that? And at the time, I was like, I don't know, but I didn't want to say no, because like that's just an opportunity could have missed, or so I was like, yeah, sure,
Right.
yeah, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, when Triple H goes like, can you do that? The answer is always,
Always,
yep.
Yeah. That was always
Yep.
yes. I could try it. But no, so he was just like, it'd be cool if you could do it. Could you try that? I was like, you could try it. And you can't really practice it, so it's just kind of like in the moment thing. I was like, oh. Because you do dives all the time, and like you hit the guy, and like you kind of land on your feet. And so that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, I kind of do it all the time, so what's the difference of just like landing on my feet? And that's kind of literally all the thought that kind of went into it.
And it worked.
It
worked.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, look, I mean, stuff like that is why your first Mattel Elite figure, I know that I think John from Ringside was telling you, sold out like immediately to the point where you can't even get the figure on the website anymore. Like,
That's so crazy.
we don't have one to show you. It's not available, right?
That's crazy.
So I believe Bill from Mattel is here. I don't know if you've seen the next.
I've only
Ricochet.
seen a photo that I didn't even know was. I didn't even know.
So this will be part. This will be part of the Target Network Spotlight coming out in early 2020. It's in the yellow deco with the Ricochet shirt
The
and
Stomping Grounds attire.
the U.S. title. Yeah.
This is when I beat Samoa Joe for the
Just-
United States Championship.
Does it put, when you see how detailed, right, all these
nice.
tattoos are, does it put any pressure on you? Like, next time you go for a tattoo, you're like, okay, like most people go, well, this tattoo's on my arm forever. It's important. You're like, no. People are going to be buying small replicas of my arm. This tattoo is going to literally be around way after I die.
Is really all I need to do is like, because you see like this part's not really filled in, so I just need to fill in this part here. But man, they hurt so bad. And I feel like the older you get, the more they hurt.
Yeah.
So I've just been like, I've been procrastinating
Yeah.
on getting this like filled in, especially here because it's like the ditch of your arm and then your elbow, like, so it's all just the most painful spots.
Plus, that's right where the articulation
And
is.
so it's fine. You don't even see it. So it's like, this looks great. Like, so I gotta get it finished. But
Well,
this
congratulations.
is awesome though. This, like I said, I just saw a photo and I didn't even know, but this is just to have a figure is cool. I mean, coming up in the independents, like fans will make like a figure of you, which is still mind blowing to me because they're so good at it, even with the tattoos, like, and so like, but to have like one you can just like go to Target and like, let me get a Ricochet, like, dude, that's insane to me because I think I even posted a picture on Instagram not too long ago of like just me and my dad when I was like 10 or something, and I had a huge case of like action figures and my Titantron and my ring and stuff, and so now to be one is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah.
It's just
And look at that confidence. Look at the confidence.
Look at the
Look
little
at that
smirk.
smirk.
Look at the little people's eyebrow. Shout out to The Rock.
Love it. Well, congratulations, man. Hope you had fun at Ringside Fest. And look at that. It's a tiny little Ricochet.
Nice little bald head.
Yeah, smooth, baby.